Hello everybody, this is Ghost Hunter 385. I am back with more Kirby, another topic, and more commentary for everybody. Dream Parade, huh? Interesting. Kind of reminds me of the Disney parade that they do at the end of the day before they do the whole firework castle show thing. It's cute, don't get me wrong, it's nice. Kind of annoying to deal with because of the rush and everything, but I digress. Point is, okay, never mind. I'm not going to go there. Alright, anyway, let's talk today's topic. And today's topic is morals and values. Now, I can already hear some people saying, "Oh, Ghost Hunter, what are you talking about morals and values? It's used by religious windbags to sit there and tell us how to live our lives, and how dare they do that? We should sit there and discard them like the waste that they are." Okay, all jokes aside, let's talk about where our morals and values, specifically in the West, where they come from. Where do these values come from? It's called Greek and Roman culture, plus Persian and the tribes of Judea. Now, I could sit here, people saying, "Greek and Roman? What do you mean the Greeks and Romans? They're so old and so out of date. If this is where our morals and values truly come from, and especially if this is where the religious values come from, we need to change that immediately because that's bad." And it's like, smack. Basically, smack yourself in the face here for just a second. Look. Hey. Historical context needs to be needed here, but I'm going to say this. Look, when you think about the past, you have to ask yourself one fundamental question. And here's this one fundamental question. How different was it living back then compared to now? Because trust me, when I sit here and say this, I do mean this with a serious intention. Do you know how different our lives are compared to what they had, well over, I don't know, 2,000, 2,500,000 years ago? Well, not 2,500,000. Well, no, that's about right where I want to hit it, about 2,500,000. Do you know the difference between lifespan expectancies and stuff here? Trust me, there was a reason why you didn't want a woman to move into a man's sphere, where the men's sphere of influence was. It was bad things tended to happen to the woman. I hate to say that, but there's a lot of truth to that in the historical context. And I'm going to have to do that in another video to properly explain it. But weren't Greek and Romans misogynistic pigs? Well, I wouldn't really say that. I would say some of their beliefs were out there because, if you actually sat there and went and counted, teeth, and actually made sure the person still had their teeth, it would be a bit of a different story. But I digress. The point is that there are beliefs in everything, but a lot of modern values, Western value, a lot of morals and values from the West come from the ancient Greek and Romans. I mean, if you don't believe me, why do you think stories of heroes are so beloved in Western culture? And yes, there is the Eastern culture as well, where they do have their heroes and their own things, but in the West, there's more idolization of the hero, I will say here. Now, I can already sit here, some people saying, what heroes? Oh, I don't know, let's think Batman for a minute. Let's go Batman Under the Red Hood. Jason Todd finally reveals who he is to Batman, and he explains to Batman, "I forgive you for not saving me, but I will not forgive the fact that you let this mother beeper," referring to the Joker, "live." And what does Batman tell him? He tells him that he deals with the fact that he really wants to harm some of these people because of the stuff that they've done, and he doesn't do it. Why doesn't he do it? Because it makes him no better than them. That's why he doesn't do it. And of course that tickles Joker's fancy in all the right ways because it gets him cackling. "Oh, you do think about me." But I digress. The point is Batman's strength of character and strength of resolve to where he doesn't end up becoming the criminal that makes him such a great hero. Now, what other heroes are there? Sure, we could talk about the invincible Iron Man, the mighty Thor, and I don't mean Jane Foster's Thor from Love and Thunder, because in the original comic books, Thor Odinson was originally known as the Mighty Thor. And basically, as we talk about that, it's, this is where the idolization of the hero comes from. That the hero is this great, strong, superhero into a lot of degree. I mean, when you think of Greek heroes, you think of, who are the major people you most commonly learn of in classical literature? You think of, I don't know, Achilles, Heracles, Perseus. Bellerophon's there, but he's not more well known as Heracles. Then there's also the, what was the ship off the top of my head? It was Jason and the Argonauts. There we go. Jason and the Argonauts is also another hero. And guess who was also part of Jason and the Argonauts? Heracles. And for those who sit there and say, why am I saying Heracles? It's because in Greek, Hercules is known as Heracles. In Roman, he's known as Hercules. Heracles is closer to the proper Greek pronunciation. Hercules is more of the Roman pronunciation, if you will, here. But I digress. The point is that we value these heroes because of the symbols that they mean. That man is strong, but he's also just, and he also doesn't debase himself by sinking to the low point of the criminals, basically, here. Sure, could you go on here and talk about, I don't know, Superman, Flash, Wonder Woman. Let's see, who else is a good one here? Captain Marvel, Shazam. You could sit here and talk about all these heroes and how they're just other architects of the points of the Greek heroes, and even Roman heroes. But I digress, that's not the point here. The point is that this is where a lot of our values come from. And, a lot of these values, people will sit there and say, oh my god, those values are so old and so outdated. We need to change them so they reflect more of a modern society. Has that done us any good? Yes, it has. We've become more aware of the needs of women, and, I'm going to stop you right there, pal. Because guess what? There is injustice in every culture out there. Now, I can just say people saying, well, it's been more harsher for women. Sure, there's plenty of stories out there where women get the short end of the stick, but no one sits there and talks about, I don't know, the ostracization of others because they're different than others. But that's not the point. The point is that morals and values have been manipulated throughout all time. And there's nothing you can really do about that. I mean, you don't believe me? Go to r/Nuclear Revenge. Find the story that's titled, I Destroyed an Entire Town. And it's basically the story of how a guy's mother was S-word assaulted by her uncle and all his cronies, and instead of being arrested and persecuted, it was, you were seduced by that harlot, that W-H-O-R-E, and, it's okay, we forgive you. You are a good Christian man. Morals and values can be manipulated. It's sad, it's terrible, it sucks. But I digress. The point is that people do this because guess what? Money, power, and privilege. But in any case, like, subscribe, bang the bell, and I will see everybody in the next video.